Thanks for staying with us. Join us to talk about the art of home ownership, renting your way to owning a home. Is the Diaspora Sales Manager, Mixta Africa, Mr. Tunji Adeyemi, and the Senior Sales Representative, Mixta Africa, Mr. Ben Chinedu. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
So we know you're from Mixta, and obviously you deal in landlord ownership, tenants, and tell us about this landlord versus tenant issues. What are the issues you've seen, and how have you been able to combat this within your company? Who would like to go first? Go ahead.
So I'd say first off, bringing this to Lagos, for instance, there's a housing deficit in Lagos,
right?
And as it is, there's also, housing has also become, very expensive and out of reach for most especially for low and middle income earners. So what we are positioned to do is to be able to offer affordable housing, for Nigerians, especially in Lagos. We've also created a pathway for ownership, through payment plans and, flexible payments, pretty much, as well as, mortgages. So, yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about the hassles of buying property in Nigeria. So some persons would love a system where they're able to pay some amount of money, not the 100%, and, be given a few years to be able to complete it while already living in the house. But most of, the real estate people we know talk about you pay, and then it's when you complete it, if it's going to take you 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, that's when you get your key. But let's talk about what Mixta is doing in that regard. Is there an opportunity for people who want to own houses to pay, move in, and then take their time to, like what we do when you travel?
All right. Let me speak to that. So yes, while we at Mixta want to make it very flexible for people to be able to take home ownership and pay over a good number of years. There's also a challenge of consistent rise in construction in the country. So, but what we've been able to put in place is to allow people. We've been able to put payment plans in place. We also have a rent-to-own scheme, which speaks to what you're referring to, where you have a 3-year pathway to own a property, where you begin to pay rent on the property, that you're living in, and the final goal is to be able to pay up within 3 years. Now, within the 3 years, you can either pay out of pocket or you can also seek mortgage. We formed a partnership with Access Bank, where where we are offering exclusive.
I have to pause for a second. I'm sorry. I'm told I have to take an urgent break. Thanks for staying with us. We still have our guest in the studio, Mr. Tunji Adeyemi. He's the Diaspora Sales Manager for Mixta Africa, and Mr. Ben Chinedu, the Senior Sales Representative, Mixta Africa. So we're going to go back to, because even before we start talking about land, ownership, rent to home, and all that, it's important for us to even know what Mixta is, what you do, and how you help Nigerians secure homes. So let me start with you, Mr. Ben. What exactly is Mixta? What do you guys do?
All right, thank you very much. Mixta is a real estate development company. We develop real estate as well as infrastructure. We've been in business for over 2 decades, about 3 decades now, actually. Now, interestingly, Mixta is part of the ARM group. So if you know ARM Pensions, ARM Investment, we're still the same organization. So whatever trust you already repose in those brands, you could as well just transfer that to us. We're the same people. Now, Mixta Africa is actually, first of all, we have footprints in about 8 African countries, but currently operational in just 5. And we've been behind several notable projects like 4 Points by Sheraton, the Lakwe Lakes Golf and Country Estate, which is a top holiday destination in Lagos here, as well as many other residential and commercial projects in Lagos, in Abuja, and other parts of Africa.
Fantastic. Now we know who you are.
Exactly.
Yes. And it's the Lekki toll gate as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
part of that.
So we'd just like to know, is there anything currently any project currently that you're working on or that you're about to reveal?
Interestingly, we've just launched a new product this week. It's called Lakwe Lakes Annex. So let me backtrack a bit so you understand. Now, Mixta Africa owns a land bank somewhere in Lakwe, Lagos, Nigeria. The name of the community is called Lagos Newtown. Within Lagos Newtown, first of all, is as big as almost twice the size. It's almost twice the size of Victoria Island, and within that space, that's correct. Within that space, we have a number of residential and commercial projects. So currently, we have the Lakwe Lakes Golf and Country Estate, which I believe many of your viewers must have visited, either with their company on a retreat or just for a leisure visit, maybe during Christmas, Easter, what have you. So we have the Lakwe Lakes Golf and Country Estate that also houses the biggest golf estates in Lagos. We have Adiva Playing Fields, Beachwood Park Estates, a mix of affordable housing projects, middle-income focused projects, as well as luxury. Now, just earlier in the week, we launched Lakwe Lakes Annex, which is, by the name, shares very close proximity to the golf estate. And the only thing separating them is a big lake, actually. Okay. So Lakwe Lakes Annex is a new estate, 100% residential, with top-notch infrastructure. And, our offer on this new release, especially as it's just been launched into the market, is the fact that for the first 100 people who would be keen into this, we'll be offering them, discounted access to the golf club, very exclusive golf club in Lakwe Lakes, and even discounted access to the sports facility within the golf estate, which normally they would not be able to access. So Lakwe Lakes Annex is, really affordable in relation to, the golf estate, which is right next to it, and infrastructure is 100%. Right. The title is uncontestable. We have, C of O within that area, and I mean, it's a place where every investor would definitely find a lot of value.
Actually, when we have real estate people, they're always trying to target, regular folks. Yeah. But when you're talking about Sheraton, Lakwe, there's a certain level of people you're looking for.
Who may be able to afford it.
People like we.
I mean, so what we're offering, like you mentioned earlier, cuts across, affordable, all middle market, and of course, the premium. So, we're actually offering products to all segments of the market. Oh, absolutely, yes.
So how affordable is your affordable? Or someone who's watching would like to take advantage of what you're offering?
Okay, so affordable now in today's, in current times is quite relative, right? So when you're speaking to housing units, we have a product that goes for about 35, 36, within the Lagos Newtown. And then, of course, we have...
That's like a flat, can you...
Yes, a flat,
okay.
Yes.
How many bedroom?
That's a one bedroom.
One bed?
Yes. Okay. We all know what cost of construction is today. Yeah. So, we also have to level up, right? So that we will still remain in business while trying to offer affordable products to the market.
Mm-hmm. So tell us that process, rent to home, because when those of us in Lagos, when we had rent to home back then during the Lagos homes, it was like you pay a certain percentage down and then you start paying certain amounts after a period. So could you give us an idea of what exactly is expected for how do we go from rent to owning the home? What's your system like?
Okay, thank you. So for the rent to own, we actually designed a product called Duo by Mixta, right? This allows you to, rent and own within a 3-year period. Okay. So it offers an entry point of about 2.9 million, which is about 5% of the, value of the property. So what this does is it allows you to pay yearly rent until you decide that you want to buy up. So, but you have a 3-year window. Now you can decide to buy up within the first year, second year, or the third year. Now, within this same period, we've also partnered with Access Bank to be able to offer our customers an exclusive, mortgage, that allows you to pay about 15% interest, on that mortgage. Now, on an average today, considering what the MPR is today, MPR is about 26.2% today. This means that an average commercial bank in Nigeria would be offering mortgage between 25, 30% or, even more. But what we've been able to do is we want our customers to be able to afford our product. Now, the affordability now is, if you look at what it is right now, rent is also going up. So rather than continue to pay rent for a good number of years, we're now giving people the opportunity to be able to buy a home and pay over a 10, 20-year period, at an interest rate of 15% offered by Access Bank.
Wow.
This is exclusive to Mixta product.
Fantastic.
So especially on the, within the affordable range.
Okay, so Mr. Tunji, you're also Diaspora Sales Manager.
Yes.
And so I was wondering if there's anything specifically abroad that you're doing right now for.
Okay, yeah, on that side, I mean, I think it's also important to mention a bit of my background. So I have a 16 years plus banking background before I joined real estate. So I've been in the diaspora market, for over a decade. And, there's a quest for Nigerian real estate investment in Nigeria, from Nigerians in diaspora. And, if you also pay attention to, people's experiences, a lot of people that send money home to family, friends, and maybe associates to help them buy, real estate investment here. And, the stories have not been so great. What we are doing is to step in, bridge the gap, as a partner they can trust to help them realize their dreams. So we're going to, so if you also look at it, not everybody wants to buy a property in Nigeria, for investment purpose. Some actually have so much passion for this country, such that they're thinking to retire back home. So those kind of people that want to retire back home, we are, providing them we're making the opportunity available to them. And for the ones who want to just invest for the purpose of, returns, we're also, playing that part. And I think it's also important to mention that we'll be embarking on a UK roadshow starting from September 26th all through to October 12th. So we'll be in London, 3 locations in London, Peckham, Hackney, and Woolwich. We'll also be in Manchester as well. Yeah, absolutely. That's where you find Nigerians. That's where you have Nigerians in clusters. So we and then you also understand that people that live in those areas are also very much connected, to Nigeria. If they get an opportunity to go on holiday, they think of home first before they think of every other place. So those are the kind of people that we're targeting in the diaspora. Yes.
Is there any other thing, Mr. Ben, that we missed out that you'd like to touch on from Mixta?
Okay, so I would just like to touch on something he touched in passing about the kind of returns investors can look to expect. So first of all, we understand that real estate is one asset class that over time outperforms, outpaces inflation, and with the inflationary pressure we have right now, there are very few asset classes that can offer the kind of returns that real estate offers. Now, bringing this down to Lagos Newtown, where we are located, looking at it first holistically, Lagos is the commercial nerve center of the country, the largest economy in Nigeria, the 5th largest economy in Africa. Ibejuleki, where Lagos Newtown is situated, is about the fastest growing local government in Lagos, owing to the free trade zone, the Lekki Deep Sea Port, and Dangote Refinery and what have you.
So these are the Lagos to Calabar
coastal road, exactly.
That's going to open up a lot of opportunities.
So these are very, very early days. People who have invested in Lagos Newtown, in the last 5, 7, 10 years, have enjoyed very, very impressive returns. So even if you're just hearing about it, it's still very early days. Many of the projects at the free trade zone area, the coastal road, these projects are still, in their budding phases. So an investment in Lagos Newtown now is an investment that helps you secure your future and, those of the people you love.
So finally, numbers to reach you, handles, is there a phone number we can call you?
Yeah, sure. We can be reached on Instagram at Mixta Africa.
I see the numbers on the screen too.
Okay, they're displayed on the screen already. Excellent.
And for our diaspora, prospect or customers, we have a diaspora website called Mixta Vest. You can reach us on www.mixtavest@mixtaafrica.com.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, gentlemen. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you so much for
Wishing you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Let's go on a short break now. We'll come back and continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.